Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Let's just take that down nice and smooth. So we're gonna be taking. I'm gonna eat some blueberries, but I think we're gonna take some of y'all's calls. Did someone just retweet us? Someone I think awesome just retweeted us. Yeah, we're getting a lot of followers. So I'll just assume it's one of my homeboys. And let's take y'all's calls. So let me sign in really quickly. What do you think's happening in crypto, Daniel?
Oh man, so much is happening. So Bitcoin, again, as we've talked about, is testing new levels. So we're going to see over the next couple of weeks, I think, if that's sustainable. People have varying opinions. I think, as you pointed out, I agree that, if we can break through that 10-3 barrier and hang there for a little bit, then we're going to see some significant growth in the next couple months. I also think there's a good chance we could see a retraction. But honestly, to me, I'm like, if we have bad news in crypto, let's go ahead and let's get it out now while we're down. Let's not let it hold us back for too much longer. So we'll see exactly what happens. Robinhood's launching soon, so I think that's going to be a big. I think people are really underestimating that. Robinhood's got a name. They're trusted with stock trading. They're easy to use.
Yeah, people can move their money back between stocks and crypto and cash on Robinhood. I mean, no one else is doing that, especially not on a mobile app, and especially not those users. So I'm going to go ahead and put the number up. The number is 202-808-0226. If you're not confident about calling, you can chat below. We're here to talk about futurism. We're here to talk about Bitcoin, crypto, Crown. We're here to talk about all of it. And I'm going to eat my blueberries. And
I have chicken parm off screen, so blueberries and chicken parm, that sounds like a great combination.
Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot to start recording this, so you're just going to have to rip it off the web. Yeah, so let's get our first caller, 202-808-0226. Talk about what you guys want to talk about. Speculate a little. Nobody take this as investment advice.
Or really like advice in general. I don't really feel like
Hey, I'm confident. All right, let's get... Everyone's shy about that first call. And when you guys call, you might be on mute because we might get a backlog. So just wait till we read your town and, whatever. Why don't you read us while someone's calling in? Why don't you read us some headlines from Cointelegraph or something?
That's a great idea. Let me see. I've got so many browser tabs open.
Yeah, this is a good distraction away from the news out of Florida, our failing FBI, all kinds of other things.
Don't even get me started.
Don't get me started.
No. U.S. security coordinator says at a conference that crypto regulations are, quote, not close.
Who said that?
A major U.S. government security figure. Rob Joyce.
Don't know, but yeah, that's
special assistant to the president and White House cybersecurity.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, so that's...
Although they won't make the policy. That's interesting that he's commenting on that. I mean, you have a number of regulatory bodies that could make regulations without the president.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Although, I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, he probably has the biggest say in that.
Oh, yeah. And there's supporters of the president who, are very pro-crypto, like Peter Thiel and other names I'm not going to drop. All right, we got our first caller from Canada.
I love Canada.
What's up, Toronto?
Hey, what's up, Ali?
What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? I just wanted to ask a quick question. I saw the picture of you with Jack Dorsey. You got what? Something like 50K followers?
Yeah, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you say, Jack, what the hell? Why no verification?
That's everybody's first question.
That's just my simple question. I mean, like, Assange has got close to 1 million and no verification. So, obviously, I would say it's not as big as a deal as Assange, but still, I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
If he's bringing you there to be his little, look at my picture with the brown guy.
Whoa. Let me say that.
Look, see, I'm a good guy too. I'm a good guy too. If he's going to play that game, then...
Okay, so I'm going to put the guy on mute, because whatever. Yeah. Let me answer his question if there was a question. One, Jack and I spoke at length about... See, what was funny is he thought he was a good troll. He thought he could say something legitimate, and that I would get caught up in flattery, and that he would say something illegitimate. But, Ollie's always on guard. But Jack and I did speak at length about verification. I think it's broken. Jack thinks it's broken. He did talk to me about what the future verification would look like, and I weighed in a little bit on that. They still have to figure it out. Should I be verified? Yes. Should Julian Assange be verified? Yes. Should James O'Keefe be verified? Yeah. There are a number of other black conservatives who have never been verified, like Ken Blackwell is a friend of mine, the former Secretary of State of Ohio, former U.S. Senate candidate, member of the presidential transition team. So there's clearly something broken, but Jack recognizes that. And, we can hate Twitter all we want. The fact is, it is the public square. It is where the narratives are built. And we need to have a conversation to educate these people on how we feel we're being censored. So, Jack... Oh, and let me point out, I went to see Jack. Jack did not summon me. I said, let's take a picture. Jack was not looking at this as a photo opportunity. In as much as any of the details of our meeting have been made public, have been on me, Jack said nothing. So this isn't a publicity stunt on his end or mine. This is honestly seeing the future where, people may have done wrong or right, but we gotta move forward together. So anyway, that is what it is. Next caller, 202-808-0226. If we get no callers, I'm blaming Daniel. This was his idea.
Oh, it's entirely my fault. I'm intimidating. People are terrified of me. So I had the brand idea a couple weeks ago. I was like, why don't they just verify everyone? Why don't they have an ID system implemented and just verify everyone? Is that a horrible idea?
I hate it because humans need hierarchy. We need to know who influencers are and thought leaders are. And I don't really give a shit about, the fact is John, there's other Ollie Akbars in the world. Mm-hmm. But are there other is there more high-profile Ollie Akbar affecting laws and politics and opinion in Silicon Valley? No. Is there another Jack Dorsey out there? Yeah, but, so I don't know. I think I do like a little bit of hierarchy, a little bit of threshold to get verified, but, I don't know. But I feel you.
And the verification procedure is just so obscure. Although I did say they put out a statement. I saw they put out a statement a couple weeks ago saying basically from this point on they're committing to verify all candidates at a federal level. So that'll be interesting. I don't know where that line extends. Doesn't mean they're going to be verifying libertarian candidates
I will tell you, I'm not going to take credit for that, but let's just say.
So if the libertarians don't get it, I'll know who to blame.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I got mad that Doug Jones was verified and Roy Moore wasn't. And because to me, if you show up higher in the search rankings for using the same hashtag, that's electioneering. Right. And, I would feel the same way if a Democrat wasn't verified. Is especially at the statewide federal level, all candidates should be registered or should be verified, or all of them should not be verified, or they are verified on the basis of being a candidate, and that's what Doug Jones was. He was verified on the process of being a candidate. Why didn't that same Twitter member go ahead and reach out to the Roy Moore campaign and say, hey, we need your documents so we can verify the judge? And so, that was one public complaint I had. And, who knows? Who knows? Who knows how that happened? But I'm an FEC nerd.
Sounds miserable.
Yeah. Wow, nobody wants to call about crypto. I think they're all intimidated. Now, I bet you if we would have made this show about taking calls about, the indictments that happened today, we get a lot more calls. All right, hold on. We got another caller out of Chicago.
Nobody wants to call about crypto. I think they're all.
You gotta turn down.
If we would have made
All right. Chicago, I'm gonna leave you on mute for 30 seconds while you figure out how to mute it. You can't watch the show and talk in the show and talk to your brother. I'm gonna unmute you, Chicago. All right, Chicago, what's up?
Great. Hey, Allie. Hey, Daniel. Good to talk with you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
I just had two questions about tech. Sure. Yes. How important is it to connect startups with Bitcoin tech is the first question, and that are just starting out. And then where do startups that want to integrate Bitcoin into their startup go to find investors from a beginner standpoint or, startups that want to go that route?
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for calling. Daniel, what's your opinion?
Yeah, so I think that, listen, at the end of the day, if you're a startup, particularly in technology, you would be very short-sighted to ignore at least some type or acknowledge at least some type of disruption in your industry with blockchain. We're seeing it affect nearly every industry. I don't know of a single industry that has been unaffected by blockchain or that could not potentially be affected by blockchain. So I think it's really important to, at least do your research in your respective industry, see what tech is out there. For a lot of these different areas, there isn't necessarily a shovel-ready tech, to borrow a former president's phrase. And so because of that, you just have to do your research, keep up on it. If you're talking about more accepting payments and stuff, we're seeing a lot of new payment processors come out. Coinbase just rolled out, what's it called? Coinbase
Commerce?
Yeah, Commerce. And it's just designed to streamline accepting Bitcoin, streamline taxes, all that kind of stuff. So, it's something that I think should be on everyone's radar if you're starting up a business. But in a lot of cases, the tech hasn't quite caught up to where it's, ready for day-to-day use.
Yeah, there's Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, and there's blockchain, which is the technology that powers Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin is an instance of blockchain. It was the first instance of blockchain. And if your industry or your startup wants to accept Bitcoin, well, that's a payment thing. So it's not really what your startup would be or would not be doing. So I don't know. That's a little confusing on whether the caller's talking about blockchain technology or Bitcoin. Secondly, is where should you go for investors on that? Anywhere where there are accredited investors. There aren't specific investors only investing in Bitcoin and only investing in blockchain technology. And creating a company and then adding the name blockchain or Bitcoin at the end of it is somebody who really shouldn't be running a startup anyway. So, do your due diligence. Get a business plan together, seek investors, and, decide what the purpose and the mission of your startup is. And if you accept Bitcoin, that can be a part of your business plan, especially if you believe Bitcoin is going to appreciate. You can find a mathematical formula that can keep your company its bills paid while holding on to a portion of Bitcoin as it appreciates. And you can run revenue models and present that to investors and see if they too believe in it. But that's my suggestion there. Cole in the chat room says something from one of my tweets. I said, a bloody day is coming, a big red bloody day. And Cole asked, what did I mean by that? I think that in the next 12 to 24 months, we will see a period where most of these altcoins lose their value. And it will be because they did not serve a utility as a token and that they have no community. Both of those things. They can serve a utility and still lose. If they don't have a community, users, I'm not talking about a community that's fans of it. If you don't, in 12 to 24 months, have active users circulating your coin, it will die. It will die. And then 2 is because people will chase the price. In 24 months, if Bitcoin is not soaring, above $50,000, then it's not going to catch on ever. My thing is that in the next 12 to 24 months, we're looking at mainstream Bitcoin adoption, that we will reach the first third adoption of Bitcoin, which is pretty significant. People don't understand, this is still early adoption. It's the last leg of early adoption, but we're still in the early adoption phase of Bitcoin. And so, yeah, the speculative price will leave many of these coins. Developers will leave those teams. Entire people will be trapped. Their wealth will be trapped, and it will delete. It will be not worth nothing. So, some of these coins, like Verge, aren't going to be worth anything, I think, in 12 to 24 months. Because no one wants to trade it. There will be no demand. So, some people are speculating in the chat room how many they think will survive. I'm not going to say how many I think survive, but, 1 to 2,000 coins and tokens, I could see 100 surviving, but I could see only 2 or 3 of those actually being coins that function like money or currency, whereas the others would function like tokens. Like, I love the BAT token. I've endorsed the Crown token. There's a number of other NEO, smart contract, better built than Ethereum. So anyway, that's my opinion about that. A big, bloody, ready day is coming up, and it's going to happen like that, because it will happen when Bitcoin decides to take off. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen because everyone wakes up one day and decides to be a better human or better tech. It'll be because Bitcoin is soaring to adoption, and it can't be stopped. It won't be able to be stopped then.
So then the question, I think, for us becomes, like, where does Crown fit into that equation? I mean, Crown's got close ties to Bitcoin. It's merge mined with Bitcoin. We saw that tweet the other day the Crown team put out, just the incredible hash power behind the network. Does any of that matter if there is this bloody day where all these altcoins just fall off?
Well, you're not going to like the answer to this. I think it won't. It'll matter very little, but right. It will matter. There will be some tokens that take a 50% hit, which is better than a 90% hit. But that's, I think, what we're looking at. We're looking at a 24-hour period where things delete. And the survivors will be tokens that took a 50 to 80% hit and then recovered back, but will never recur. That's when you will know that a token has reached its high, is when Bitcoin decides to delete stuff. A token will never reach higher than it did prior to that day, ever. So I think that the point is that tokens should become useful. Use should find value, and whatever the accurate value is, we shouldn't want Crown to be worth $1 million. That's not a true accurate value. We want a true accurate value of it. You're like, yeah, I do.
I'm like, sure, I would be in a very good place.
Yeah. The problem is trying to get the exit. And so right. You want liquidity, you want some volatility, but you also want an accurate, fair price with a little bit of speculation in it. Hopes for the future. And then
I think that's where all that we see the importance of having real world use cases, real world partners, real world hardware products, if that's something that can run on the chain. That's where that becomes absolutely crucial, because that's where we're going to see, the runs that are actually going to be able to be used are going to be fine, and the ones that have just been trading on speculation for a long time and have never delivered anything of consequence, cough Tron and cough we're going to see some sort of, deflection.
Yeah. I mean, they got 12 to 24 months. It's on like Donkey Kong. I mean, it could even happen as soon as 8 months. But I think I don't think anyone should have any fears before July.
No, and I mean, I think people need to realize, like I tell myself this a lot, if you look at your portfolio and you look at each one of the projects that you're invested in and you say, I believe in each one of these projects, I believe in the tech, I believe in the team, you're doing realistic analysis, then, I think you should feel good. But it's the people who have been day trading on some of these really speculative coins that they think one day they're going to wake up and be millionaires. And those are the people who are really going to get burned the most when this day happens.
Yeah, it's good. Great question. 202-808-0226. We want to hear from you guys. Any question? There's nothing too dumb. People are very intimidated by crypto.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's not, we all started somewhere.
We all started somewhere. I'm enjoying the crap out of these blueberries.
Oh, wow. So Tether decided to do another print job.
Yeah, of course.
146 million. Although I saw the CEO of Binance, I think it was Binance, basically on Twitter, like says, yeah, he basically implies, hey, they've got the money. It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty big. I mean, and I've seen some numbers where the
Binance or Bitfinex?
It was not there. It was not the CEO of, it was Binance.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people have said that they've seen the accounts. And that could happen. Part of the problem is, do those accounts, are any of them going to get shut down? And
right,
that would deflate every dollar. So, I don't know. And I don't like the fiat mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite part about Crown? Number one thing.
Oh man. Honestly, like I think that I'm pretty passionate about the fact that I think with a lot of these tokens, we are seeing incredibly specific use cases. There's like this token that it was in the top 100. I don't know if it's still there. Basically, it was a dentist token.
A what?
And they were like, it was for dentists.
Oh.
It was like a dentist token. So like we're seeing, and that sounds funny, but like we're seeing a ton of different tokens out there that are for very, very niche use cases. And what I love about Crown is that Crown could really do all of that, right? Crown looks at the user and says, you know what, here's the sandbox, you build what you want for your use case. We're not trying to, we're giving people the solid base layer and we're letting them build what they think is best for their market. Whereas a lot of these really small projects, and some of them are now big, who are focused on really small industries, comparatively speaking, I think are going to have a really hard time in the long run justifying their value. But like, it's going to be really interesting to me because I think that, a lot of people, and I saw some people in the chat saying, we think only the top 5 will survive or whatever. I think that there are multiple iterations of something that solves a problem that can survive. So that's like a bad way of putting it. But, I think there could be multiple digital currencies. I don't know that, and everyone's assuming it's going to rally around one. Everyone's assuming there's going to be one currency for an API token. Everyone's assuming there's going to be one currency for decentralized storage. But that's not really what we see anytime that there's been a tech revolution. we see, you know, a couple big players, a couple small players, and then the industries go with the specific token or the specific company that they feel serves their needs best. So I don't know that I would necessarily say that like all of these tokens are going to go away, but I think that you know, we'll probably have 3 to 5 big players in every industry, and then the rest are going to become irrelevant. But with Crown, you know, there's so much room for growth. I mean, it's really incredible.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Crown has to play against Blockstack or a number of these other serverless, you know, near protocols that people are trying to build or environments. You know, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 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 202-808-0226. If we don't get a caller in the next 2 minutes, we're shutting down the phone lines.
Oh man!
If you
Someone
have a
just call in and say hi, then.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Is there a Bitcoin song? Oh, I need to stop eating these blueberries. I ate basically the whole thing anyway.
Have you ever actually been like blueberry picking?
I think I've been once to a place and picked a couple and ate them.
Translation stole.
No, I mean I was with the farmer.
Yeah, but I mean like they in South Carolina here we have like these just acres and acres and acres of blueberries, and they give you this bucket and it's like a flat rate, and then you just cram in this bucket into your mouth.
That's so
and
yummy.
Yeah, basically, and it's pretty incredible. They're really good too, like far better than anything I've gotten at the store for the most part.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm having to compete.
We
have great numbers considering I'm having to compete against 2 of my friends, Laura and Pasopic. So
let's hack them.
Have you watched Alt Carbons? Oh, blueberries. No. You haven't watched?
Oh, wait. The TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said, I was still thinking coins. I'm like, alt carbons. I'm like, what is alt? I've never heard of this token. And I'm like Googling, I'm like putting in coin market cap. So yeah, no. Yeah, actually I finished the entire first season already.
Yeah, I just finished it last night. It took me like 3 days. And I love it.
Yeah, it's a little trippy.
A little too much nudity, and I could do without some of the gore.
Yeah,
but
I think it's just gratuitous. But I think it's really interesting for them the way that they show, like the overarching theme is like, at what point is human life like devalued? And a lot of those people would say, well, we're not devaluing human life. We're devaluing like the actual physical body, but we're not, you know, there's still the soul, and it's really trippy. It kind of freaked me out, but it was good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I you know, I think I would probably be one of those religious who did not, who suffered the true death. But, you know, who knows? And, you know, but it was an interesting look. I think it's very well produced and very well written. Mm-hmm. And I was texting back and forth with Jack Pasopic today, and, you know, his bar of sci-fi is really high, and he only watched the first episode, and, you know, he has better things that he likes. He likes Firefly a lot. I've never seen Firefly.
Oh man, that is like a cult. Like people are like fanatic about that show. And it was only like what, like 3 episodes or something?
Is it really?
Yeah, no, it got canceled.
It didn't have a full season?
It's probably a whole season. Let me see. Yeah, there's 15 episodes.
Okay.
But it was in 2003.
Wow.
And like everyone's like, you know, this is like a cult, like people go crazy about this stuff, and like people were like, you know, revolting and saying they wanted it back, and everyone talked about bringing it back like 3 separate times. I'm like looking at it now, but it says it exemplifies core libertarian values.
Interesting.
Maybe I need to watch this show. Maybe Jack's actually a libertarian.
He's a MAGA loving. I'm sorry, Jack Posobiec.
Yeah.
What's the other one? He said BSG. What's BSG?
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh gosh, I'm not. Yeah, I knew that our tastes were totally different, but there's some great sci-fi. We're living in a great era. Well,
You really like the early 2000s. I think that's what this is about.
Probably. And here we are, cryptocurrency. More shows coming up. You guys, we appreciate it. We're glad we did the Q&A, however short it was. We're glad that people feel confident in their positions. Go ahead, if you're on Bittrex, pick up some Crown. That's CRW. I have it. I'm holding it. I'm not selling it. I'm not going anywhere. And a lot of these other tokens, I'm waiting for everything to get back up. It's going to be an interesting situation with this Bitcoin recovery, or maybe you think Bitcoin returns back down to 7 or the mid 6s. We'll see. All I know is hold. We got to fight our oligarchs. Daniel, do you have any last words?
Yeah, so if you're not on Bittrex and you can't get a new account because they're closed for new users, you can go to coinswap.co. They use Bittrex's API. So you can trade basically through Bittrex. The fees are a little bit higher, but unless you're doing like a really high volume trade, I don't think it's too bad. We have a question in the chat that says, any word on Crown listing on Binance or KuCoin? If you are asking that question, you should be going and tweeting KuCoin and Binance, but go tweet them. Remind them that we want to be added. But seriously, there's been a lot of speculation publicly from the development team in the chats, but I can't really confirm or deny anything at this point. But that's a great segue. So please go do tweet KuCoin, ask them to add CRW with the $sign in front, because we could really use the support.
Okay, whoa. You just slaughtered all of that. No, user, we're not on Binance yet or KuCoin, and we have no updates. But you, user, tweeting them and pressuring them will make our lives easier in advocating for this token. So tweet KuCoin, that's KuCoincom, KuCoin.com on Twitter and say, hey, I'd love if your platform had CRW. And you can find Crown's official Twitter handle at Crown Platform. And this has nothing to do with my personal brand. I don't own Crown. It just happens to be good synergy. The same with Binance. Include the CEO, include Binance _ 2017, I think is their Twitter handle. Be an active consumer in any part of the market. Be vocal about what you want to see and where you want to see it, and it will come to life. And Daniel and I are working to get Crown listed on more exchanges. So we are actively working and soliciting your help.
That's right.
All right, you guys can go to crownblockchain.com if you want to sign up for exclusive email updates. Those updates should probably start in a week or two. But crownblockchain.com if you want to sign up for email updates. And we look forward to talking to you guys soon. Next time you'll see us, we'll be in DC. We'll be periscoping, podcasting, talking about cryptocurrency and regulation, and all kinds of other cool, nerdy things. Bye.
See y'all. Well,